Hello there, welcome back to another video in our Exponent Extension Library video training series. In our first video, we talked about getting started with Exponent Faces to detect and extract faces from pictures and videos. We're going to go one step further today, and we're going to talk about face matching. So we're going to introduce some video evidence, some picture evidence, and then we're going to say, look for this person, and we're going to use a stock photo, which could be similar to, say, a school photo. So we've already created a new case file called face matching demo. We're going to add a directory. And from our test data, we're going to add the videos. And we also have some pictures in here, which is part of our collection. And just to give you an idea of what's in there, let's just open up Windows Explorer for a second. And as you can see here, we have a series of photos and videos, people in the streets, a dinner party, marathon, festival. So there's a bunch of different things that make up our evidence. So this is to mimic some multimedia evidence in your case file. We're going to start by defining what we want searched. Now this is important because depending on how you approach the selection process, you could be waiting a long time if it has to go through the whole case file, but in our case, we recommend tagging specifically what you want searched for faces. The next step is to run the extension, and after the license window appears, we'll be greeted with the main window. We'll shrink it back into view here. And from the library tab, we can select our faces extension on the bottom right here. And as we explained in the prior video, the search scope needs to be defined here as the tagged items or the entire case. We'll leave it at the default here, search only tagged items. We're going to leave the video actions as is, which is extract frames. And then this time we're going to choose detect and match faces. It's detected we've used some face enrollment from a prior demo, so we're going to say no, just start from scratch. In the face detection settings, we want medium quality precision as far as telling faces, that is the extension, to expect, or don't settle for a face that is questionable. We're going to do it a somewhat precise option or higher. And as we explained before, low and lowest might get you some false positives. In this case here, we only want premium quality stuff so that we're not wasting our time combing through possible false positives, which would be minimal to say the least, or to say the most, but in this case here we want to be more efficient. So we'll select medium. The face enrollment allows us to introduce some photos. Now in this case here we have some sample photos which could be similar to, say, a school photo. So we're looking for this lady amongst all our evidence. We could choose to give her a name if you want, Carol 1. This really has no relevance on the output. It just helps you see the results in real time as the media scan commences. And we'll show you that in a minute. Now the face matching options is the important part. It's possible that other tools might represent face matching as a percentage, how accurate. The false acceptance rate really is at the heart of the matching technology. And in version 2 of Exponent Faces, a whole new generation of improvements have been made to the facial recognition engine. Again, I must stress, we use a commercial tool that's in use by military and law enforcement worldwide. We don't use open source. It's a backed technology that's been around for 20 years. And so you can have some confidence that what you're using is a really tested and battlefield tested tool, engine. In this case here, talking about false acceptance rates, it'll use the example of a security guard, allowing people to pass through a protected gateway into a venue. The acceptance rate is how many mistakes do you want that security guard to make. So if someone comes to the gate, they present their driver's license, they look at the driver's license, they say, okay, pass on through. How many mistakes do you want that person, that security guard, to make? By default, we're going to say let them make 2 mismatches or 2 mistakes per 100. You can change that to 1, which is extremely accurate. Highly recommended if you have quality videos, quality media. I like to balance it out at 2, but you could also make it even more precise. Say, you know what, make 2 mistakes out of 1,000 people. In this case here, we'll leave it at default, which is pretty darn accurate, as you'll see. Now we configure the the extraction of frames and clips. In the prior video, we told you you have the ability to extract frames or segments within the video at specifications. You can use these radio buttons and values to say where to start the video extraction, where to end it. But we're not going to do that today. Instead, we're going to just talk about the extraction of the frame rate. Sorry, the frame extraction rate. I'm getting tongue twisted there. Now, most video files today, especially on mobile devices, range from 24 frames per second to 30 frames per second. Now, the more frames you process, the longer it'll take. In this case here, we're going to settle for something simpler. We'll say 5 frames per second. So it's 200 milliseconds. We're going to configure the advanced settings. As we explained before, you have the ability to resize frames or photos before the faces are detected. We recommend not doing this unless you have secluded a lot of high resolution photos and you want to still process the evidence accurately, but do it faster, because the more you load into memory, the longer it takes. Now we can commence the media scan, and as you'll see here, as we make matches, they will appear on the right hand side. So what we're looking for is Carol, and Carol's face, if she's located somewhere in our evidence, will appear here in the right pane. Now I'm going to pause this video recording for a few minutes because it'll take some time to process all of the videos we have selected. And when we get closer to the end, I'll come back. Just before I let you go, I want to draw your attention to the dashboard here. So we have the parent task, tells you what files currently being processed. The current task explains which frame is being extracted at a given time. If you don't see it incrementing one at a time, it's simply because the dashboard updates every 1 second, and based on processing power, it can process more frames faster than the 1 second update to the dashboard. So don't be alarmed if you don't see that increment chronologically. The other feedback we have is the memory usage, gives you an idea of how much RAM is being used, threads currently in use, and the face preview. Now you're not going to get every face that's detected showing up there. Again, it's in conjunction or in sync with the dashboard update, which is approximately every 1 second. So it gives you a chance to sit here and watch what's coming up. Might draw your attention to something, and then you could quickly click stop if you have to, but we're not going to do that. We're going to pause now, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have some results and we can discuss them together. I decided to drop in really quickly because we've already found some matches here. As you can see, we've got Carol 1 and Carol 2, and I want to explain these little numbers in the bottom right corner. So it has a 6 and a 5. Now it doesn't mean we have 11 instances of Carol per se. What it could be is Carol 1 might appear in the same video as many as 6 times. Same with Carol 2. She may appear as many as 5 times in a single video. But this information as to where do those 6 values come from, where do the 5 values come from, will be evident at the end of this media scan when we go back to X-Waves and we look at the results. So I was happy to see these pop up. I wanted you to see them firsthand. And again, I will just pause this and I'll come back when we're nearing completion. I'm back, and I thought I'd take a minute here to retrace the functions that you see on screen with regards to the dashboard. So if I didn't explain it earlier, let's take a look at the pictures column here. Now, pictures in this case will be photos, and they can also be frames. So we have, actually, I apologize, pictures are JPEGs and PNGs and files that are pictures or photos, and then we have our video files. So the number of faces found among the photos or pictures is 1128 right now, and videos we're nearing 1100. As you can see, the frames extracted are almost 1400. And we also list the bytes extracted in megabytes or gigabytes that have been have been added to the case. So you have an idea of just how much evidence has been acquired or created. And then we look at the current task. Again, it's telling us the current index within the video at the millisecond for a particular file, what's being extracted. The time remaining is always remaining in relation to the current file that's being processed. So we're nearing completion of the entire lot of evidence that we've tagged. And because this could still take a couple more minutes, actually, you know what? I will pause here and keep it going, because I think we're almost done. So it's processing the remaining video files. We got 3 more files. Here we go. So moving along really good now. We're almost done. So I'm going to pause this because I don't want you waiting around to see this, and then we'll come back. And I'm back, and we're almost done here, finally. And there we go. So we click OK, and then we can close this extension. We can close Exponent, and now we're back at our evidence here. Now, to see the evidence, we simply recurse everything, and then we go up to Labels, and we can look at the frames really quickly. Go to Gallery. So there's all our frames taken from the videos. If we want to look at just the faces, we can look at just the faces. Now you can see there'll be duplicates of people, and this is because they're still within the frame, and that's not uncommon. If you'd like to take a look at the matches, we go to Carol 1, and you'll see that these are the child objects. And if you want to see Carol 2, again, child objects. Now to find this, we simply have the backspace key and work our way up. So it's a dinner1.jpg. To actually see our hits, we go to face match, activate, and they were found in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the different JPEGs on file. So that is just an introduction to the face matching capabilities of Exponent. We've only skimmed the surface here. If things are omitted from the end results that you're expecting, the simplest and easiest way to do that is to tweak the false acceptance rate and increase that. So it would give you the accuracy level. Now, just to give an example of the accuracy level, it'll show you that the match here and the match here are 99.89553%. So that's well within the 2 percentage points out of 100. So that is it for our first introduction to face matching. You'll find it's remarkably accurate. If you have any questions, concerns, reach out to us by email to support@apiforensics.com. It's been a pleasure showing you this today, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Take care.